Good morning, dear children. Have you all completed lesson number 1? If not, please do so. Today, let us study from EVS 1, lesson number 2, Motions of the Earth. What is this, children? Yes, it's a top. So, you saw that it spins so fast. What else did you observe? It was going round and round on an axis. Yes. The top turns around itself. Any object that turns about itself actually turns around a certain imaginary line. The turning of an object around itself is called rotation, and the imaginary line around which it rotates is called its axis of rotation. In this picture also, children, you can see the line. This is the axis of the top. In the same way, our planet Earth also goes round and round. Do you want to see how? Let's see. See, children, our Earth is continuously moving like this, round and round, without any pause, without stopping. The Earth's axis is inclined. The Earth rotates with its axis inclined like this. The line NS shows the Earth's axis. It passes through the center of the Earth. The points N and S are called the poles of the Earth. N is the North Pole of the Earth and S is the South Pole. Now it must be clear to you, children, that Earth has its own axis. In this diagram, you can see the North Pole, the South Pole. Yes, if a circle were drawn around the surface of the Earth exactly in between the North and the South Poles, it would divide the Earth into two equal parts. This imaginary circle is called the equator. Here you can see the equator. The two equal parts it makes of the Earth are called the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, respectively. When the Earth completes one rotation, that is, when it makes one complete turn around itself, this period of time that the Earth takes to complete one rotation is called a day. A day has two parts, daytime and night time, or simply day and night. For the purpose of measuring time, we divide the whole day into 24 parts, each of which is called an hour. You must have studied this in maths, that one day equals to 24 hours. Yes, so we have learned, children, that due to the rotation of the Earth, we experience day and night, and the Earth is tilted at 23 degrees. The Earth revolves around the Sun even as it rotates around itself. The period of time the Earth takes to complete one rotation around the Sun is called 1 year. There are about 365 days and 6 hours in a year. Let's talk about leap year now. What is a leap year? In the Gregorian calendar, The year is taken to have 365 days. It means that it counts 6 hours less every year. That makes 24 hours or 1 day in every 4 years. To make up for this lost 1 day, the month of February in Gregorian calendar has an extra day every 4th year. That year is called a leap year and it has 366 instead of 365 days, and February has 29 instead of 28 days. So children, we are in 2020 year and it is a leap year. Watch in the calendar, the February month has 29 days. So this year we have 366 days. In the northern hemisphere, between 22nd March and 23rd September, the days are longer than the nights. Therefore, it is warmer there. That is, it is summer in the northern hemisphere. However, during this same period in the southern hemisphere, the nights are longer than the days. The earth gets less heat in these parts and therefore it is winter in the southern hemisphere. You can see this in the picture. In the period from 23rd March to 22nd March, the days are longer than the nights in the southern hemisphere. It gets more heat and it is summer there. In this period, in the northern hemisphere, it is the nights that are longer. The northern hemisphere gets less heat and it is winter there. You can see in the diagram below, in September 23, the southern hemisphere experiencing light from the sun, whereas in the northern hemisphere, it is winter over there. In India, summer, rainy season and winter are considered to be the main seasons. We also divide the year into 6 seasons, namely Vasant, Grishma, Varsha, Sharad, Hemant and Shishir. This cycle of 6 seasons is called Ritu Chakra. Many of our festivals are connected with the seasons. Many of our songs and games are also related to the different seasons. Let's move on to the next topic, phases of the moon. Have you all observed the moon, that it looks different? See in this picture. From the earth, we can see different types of shapes of the moon. Let us summarize what we have learned, children. The moon has no light of its own. We can see the moon because of the sun's light that falls on it. On a full moon night, we see the entire side of the moon that faces the earth. On a new moon night, we cannot see any of it. From the full moon to the new moon, the illuminated part of the moon seen from the earth becomes smaller and smaller. From new moon to full moon, it again grows bigger and bigger. These different shapes of the moon that we see are called the phases of the moon. Let's talk about the lunar month and days. It takes 14 or 15 days from new moon to full moon. This is the fortnight of the waxing moon. After the full moon, the moon appears smaller and smaller, and after 14 to 15 days, it is new moon again. This period is the fortnight of the waning moon. Thus, the period from one new moon to the next is of the 28 to 30 days. It is called the lunar month. Every day of the lunar month is called a tithi. In this picture you can see the full moon and the new moon and the other phases of the moon. Okay children, I hope you have understood the topics. What is rotation, revolution, about the day and night, and the phases of the moon. Let us now discuss the exercise. The questions which I have marked, these questions you have to write it in your classwork notebook. Question number 3, 4 and 5. Question 3, fill in the blanks. You can do it on your own. Let us discuss question number 4. What is meant by each of the following terms? First is full moon. The full moon is the lunar phase when the moon appears fully illuminated from the earth. This occurs when the earth is located between the sun and the moon. Next is new moon. The answer is the alignment of the sun, the moon and earth leaves the side of the moon that faces earth in complete darkness. In this phase, the moon is not visible with unaided eyes. Next is you have to write about lunar month. It is in your textbook, page number 10. I have marked the answers. You can note it down. The period from one new moon to the next is called a lunar month. It has about 28 to 30 days. Next is tithi. Answer is every day of the lunar month are called tithis. Question number 5 is answer the following questions. What is equator? The answer is on page number 6. Question B. What are the two parts of the earth made by the equator? This answer is also on page number 6. You can write it from there. Complete the notes children as soon as possible. Thank you everyone.